You heard that?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I interviewed Ace. It was more of a conversation, but it was around, yeah. I think after we lost to the Chargers, because we was talking like, yeah, we gotta beat the Broncos. We gotta beat them Broncos. But
That was a huge game. We dominated them motherfuckers that game, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, it's recording my bad. But yeah, we dominated them that day, and I was telling somebody about that the other day. They was like, "Why'd you mind?" I'm like, "Bro, that wasn't the game plan. Like Joe and them got smart with it, and adapted to it, and figured out like certain games you don't gotta air it out. That's why these fans is like crazy. They're like, Joe Burrow ain't go crazy in the playoffs. I'm like, bro, we learned from that shit. Like he don't have to go crazy. Like you just gotta win.
right. I just feel like if you get sacked however many times he got sacked, I don't remember the
But
number, and still win, that
9.
is that 9 times.
If you ever forget that, just think 50 Cent got shot 9 times, and what I'm saying,
Word,
Joe Burrow on the same stuff.
word. And I meant to tell you, like, man, you don't gotta worry about cussing, man.
Oh, all right.
You gotta be
Still, I don't
monetized.
be.
You gotta be
Yeah.
monetized to get demonetized though, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome to the show, man. It's we call it the Akoma podcast. Akoma is about showing unconditional love, man. And you I've caught some smoke from you in the Twitter spaces, man, because I call it a straight bullet. It was the Super Bowl week. It was tense in them Twitter spaces. I know how you get, man. So tell me, like,
What? Hold on. Back this up. Hold on. Let me take that because my phone I can hear it vibrating. I don't want it to do that. Hold on, let me do this.
Gotcha.
You're gonna have to edit this part out. My bad.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's
How
cool.
the heck do you? Now I gotta put my joint do not disturb because it was vibrating. All right, so go into this. Hold on. You said the week of the Super Bowl you caught a stray. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
You came in into the space.
yeah, I came into Twitter space because and I was like actually taking a break from work because I worked for Rumpke at the time. And so like on my break, I'm listening to the Twitter space and I get in because I was worried about that defense, that Rams defense. So I was asking you like, what I believe, and I might be tripping, but I believe this was my question.
I ain't even gonna remember it, so
Yeah.
I'm learning this.
So like I asked, like, so what can we do about them? And like, man, you was not fucking with that question, man. Like you was not. I forgive you though, man, because it was a lot of smoke. We got a lot of smoke, and it was a tense week. So like,
Hey, dog.
let me
Hey,
ask
look,
you,
it's so
man.
crazy. Like a couple of weeks ago, somebody was a Bengals fan, but I didn't. I looked at their profile and I didn't know it. So, like, say somebody started talking, I'll go look and I'll search their tweets as soon as they start talking.
Yeah.
So I already be like knowing what they on. I searched dude tweets and he had like a couple of tweets bad about Burrow. So I'm like, all right, bet he not on our side.
Yeah.
So he started talking. He said something. I was like, and I was all over him. And then he was like, wait. I'm a Bengals fan. I was like, all right, my bad.
Yeah, I chose
If you
my word.
notice, bro, though, like if it's like family stuff and we like on our Bengals stuff, like I be really having like real conversations. It just,
Right.
bro, like that joint be like a war on it for real. It's like some people probably don't be feeling it or they don't talk. But like that's the thing I told Bengals fans for so long is like, bro, there's so many people that actually hate us. Like on this joint that you'll never even hear talk. You might meet some people here and there, whatever. But I'm like, bro, y'all gotta stop. Like, we could criticize and have constructive criticism on our team, or like how you're saying in this instance, like you like straight up concerns.
Yeah.
The joint that used to kill me is like every time something good would happen to the Bengals, even that past season, they'd be like, yeah, but our line trash, and they was talking about the draft and stuff, and I'd be like, bro, like I'm fighting like 100 people online every day, and then you want me to come in here and then like I gotta fight off like you on outside. So that's one of the things I've been trying to work on is like, like trying to make sure that I'm not confrontational with us, because I don't ever want to be arguing with no Bengals fans for sure.
Yeah, it's
like weird.
It's like a catch-22 though, because like I go to Ace for the news and I go to Ace for the updates and stuff like that. But like when I'm feeling concerned about our Bengals, I look up a Zim like passionate speech or something. Like I just was watching the Quincy debate about Baker. that got ugly. That got ugly. So like, I love the passion, but let me at you cook them. That's what you said. I mean, that was before the season, I believe, or during the season.
Remember how they was talking? I feel like right now they giving Browns a little too much credit right now too, doing the same thing. And I'm like, be cautious, like tread light, because your man was. It's two different things. There's this one person. I'm a futurist, like on how I think. Like I by nature I can't help it. I'm thinking about like what I think is about to happen, and I'm using it based off of what has already happened.
Right.
A lot of people like base stuff off of like straight up accomplishments. So you'll get in there and you'll literally have a conversation. Somebody will be like repping hard for like Jarvis Landry, like right now. Like now, like for example, like he was. If on that debate, he was so crazy about Jarvis Landry. I was like, bro, like Jarvis Landry probably like 1 or 2 years about to be out the league. Look at this past offseason. Jarvis Landry had a hard time latching onto a team. And even now, there's people that be like, yeah, Jarvis Landry better than Tyler Boyd. I'm like, Tyler Boyd, 27 years old. I'm looking ahead. And that whole debate was all about like, bro, I got a 21-year-old dude, Jamar Chase. At the time, he wasn't who he was. He's 21 years old. He was the best person on the team. And Justin Jefferson just won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And this same dude about to get paired up with Joe Burrow. Like, why you, like, at the very least, I'm going to have 900 yards. At the very least. He was like, yeah, I will take OBJ over. I'm like, OBJ coming off a torn ACL. Like, the Ravens fans doing the same thing now with Marcus Peters. I'm like, do y'all realize before Trayvon Diggs, there was this guy named Marcus Peters that got cooked every single week in the NFL, but he has a lot of interceptions on the stringer? I'm like, bro, that's what the Bengals want. That's a matchup. They'd be like, we ain't have Marcus Peters. I'm like, bro, I wish he would have played. It'd have been ugly. It'd have been worse.
So
like if we have,
my bad.
No, go ahead.
I love to ramble, man. So I've adopted the ZIM mindset. Like this year is weird because like being a Bengals fan, this is the first year where I'm like, I don't want to avoid no competition. I want like all that smoke, like the 49ers, because we lost to them twice before. I wanted them in the Super Bowl, like, but I just want everything to be like, just shut up, man. Like I like the one season, the lucky playoff run shit. Like I'm ready for all that talk to be done. So I'm ready for all the smoke. So with that, who are you looking forward to the most of like shutting up?
Honestly, one thing that I learned, bro, like when you're on here every day and you understand, like you gotta think people done went a whole lifetime thinking that the Bengals was trash.
Yeah.
So no matter what the Bengals do this upcoming season, they're just gonna give us a million excuses. I'm prepping you on this.
Yeah.
When we win, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it was our offensive coordinator fault. Our front office should have did it." Like they're gonna give you a bunch of excuses as we learn injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna really give you like the I don't even got the word for it, but they're not gonna give you like exactly like what you know like when the Browns beat us, we straight up was like, yeah, the Browns was the better team that day. Like the average Bengal fan, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't work like that because they think that the Bengals are being so bad and they're so trash that they can't get past that. So if Joe Burrow throws for like 400 yards on their team, they're going to be like, oh, well, such and such was hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like the Steelers was doing that to me yesterday, and I was like, what? Wasn't nobody hurt in y'all game? Everybody was there. Y'all told me James Pierre was lit. I cooked him. You told me that TJ Watt was the best defensive end in the conference. He ain't have a pressure, he ain't have a sack. Where's all this smoke at? You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna do that. The thing that I've been telling everybody is they're gonna try to go through your schedule and be like, oh, I think that's a win, that's a loss, because they're trying to compensate for they're scared to lose to the Bengals again, so they're trying to make it make sense in their head. Only thing I know is that if I go to the playoffs with number 9, it's a wrap. Like I'm winning 92% of those games. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to week 1. I feel like we're gonna turn up. Everybody gonna be there. It's gonna be fun. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to the New Orleans game because I feel like that's an odd circumstance where you're gonna have a lot of people in the stands that maybe aren't cheering for the Bengals, but say Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase do something really good. You might get somebody to be like, yeah, that was a good throw, because they recognize they mess with Joe, they mess with Lyle. It's an LSU connection. So I like that part. You're going to have a bunch of LSU jerseys in the crowd. I think that's going to be dope. And we're going to turn up. We're going to party like you never seen out there, too. The other one I think is the Dolphins one, because I think from the Bengals standpoint, like people like me, Yaz, and everything like that, we're gonna go all white, the white like on a college atmosphere, and that game gonna be crazy. So we're wearing the white helmets on that game, and they're wearing the white helmets on the Steelers Week 11 game too. So aside from that, I think the only regular season game that I'm really looking for, like on some, competition type stuff, is that Bills game. Because all season they've been saying the Bills are like the Super Bowl champions and stuff, and I'm like, how? Like 2 years straight, y'all couldn't get past Patrick Mahomes. Bengals come in and smoke them twice. So what you mean? Like the Bills are the favorites. So, but at the same time, the Bills are for real. I like their roster. I think that's like probably if it weren't the Bengals, I probably would say the Bills are probably the best team in the conference. I don't feel like the AFC North is that crazy like everybody makes it seem. Like I feel like they're good. We're gonna beat up on like a lot of other teams that kind of got a little finesse with them.
Yeah.
But this the first time I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? The Steelers don't got no quarterback. Browns don't got no quarterback. Ravens got a quarterback that ain't even signed a contract. Like he fighting for an extension. Like they got a lot of stuff going on that you know that their practice field is terrible over there too. So they've been having people getting hurt. Like, bro, Linderbaum, Kyle Hamilton, and Bateman, and Mark Andrews all got hurt on that practice field this past week.
Well, tell me this, because a lot of the players was injured going into the season. Was that something?
Facts.
Was that a reason? That practice field?
I don't know, man. I wasn't following. Like I wasn't last year, bro. I wasn't that. Of course, I feel like Ravens was like our cousins. Then we get on the internet, we go to the bowl, they come back and they like ups now, and they're like, they're like, man, y'all ain't never been there, y'all try. I'm like, where this coming from, bro? Like I thought we was good. We I done grew up I'm much older than you. I done grew up my whole life hating the Steelers. I ain't never hated the Ravens.
It's crazy because I was in 6th grade when they went to the bowl against the Niners. I actually rooted for them because I was a casual at the time.
A lot of people, bro.
Yeah, I always thought like, man, I can't fucking stand the Steelers. I got family members who Steelers fans, Browns fans. They always was like, whatever. But the Ravens was just like you said, a cousin. Like, if they win, it's like, all right, better than the Steelers winning. But
bro, I told my folks the same thing. That Super Bowl, I remember I was in the living room. I was at my man's house. He had a Super Bowl party. I was doing the little bets that they do on the car, like who going in with the score in your face. I forgot what you call them bets, but it'd be like they pass them around that Super Bowl party. Like whoever score ends with a 4 or who ends with a 0. I was playing Super Bowl games. Yeah. I wasn't sitting there thinking, man, I hope the 49ers pull this off. Like I was just, my man asked me who you want to win. I was like, I don't know. I just want to see a good game. Kind of find out, I fast forward 10 more years, I'm like, bro, I wish I'd have been thinking, sending all of my energy, to be because now every day I log on to the internet, they're like, yeah, we got Super Bowls. I'm like, bro, you beat Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl. And
and could you imagine if Colin, even just thinking about, not even thinking about the Bengals in the AFC North, could you imagine if Colin Kaepernick was a Super Bowl champion right now? That's just NFL wild thing but I want
one thing that people not talking about, who reminds me of Colin Kaepernick a lot, and I think he's gonna have the same type of success.
Give me it.
Trey Lance. Same guy. They both run a 4.5, same height, same weight, same kind of scheme where it was Greg Roman then, but now he's got Shanahan. I just feel like the similarities, they're going to be using the run game. He's going to run Colin Kaepernick ran for 600 something yards that Super Bowl year. Trey Lance is going to have to use his legs a lot. He's a victim. The similarities are very close. But because everybody after Kaepernick got blackballed, people don't look at Kaepernick like he was good. But Kaepernick was balling.
Yeah. So tell me, we are kind of getting off, but again, I was a casual. I was a casual during that time. So how good was Kaepernick?
Bro, Kaepernick at that time, I mean, he probably he'd probably be about the ninth best quarterback in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? He threw for 300 yards in the Super Bowl. I don't know why people act like he was weak. I don't get it, bro. I feel like it got built up all that whole, the whole America kneeling and stuff. So you got a large demographics of people that just don't want to see them succeed. So they put out so many bad stories on them.
Yeah.
That now we're like 18 years. Like it's been a long time now. It's been like 6 years or something.
Yeah.
But now people like, man, yeah, he wasn't good. No, he was good. Like I don't know what they were talking about. Like
they don't need
he
to
was
talk
top
about
10 then.
Yeah, they don't even talk about like how the Niners sabotage, like firing Jim, right? Yeah, because I mix them up. Firing
I
Jim
do that too.
Harbaugh. What's that middle linebacker they had who was like fucking
They
amazing?
had Bowman, and
Retired
they had
early.
they had Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a YouTube.
You know what's so crazy about them? Those are two, for my money, two of the best linebacker combinations in the history of football. Fast forward to 2021 Super Bowl, Patrick Willis and him said that their favorite linebackers is Logan Wilson and Pratt.
Let's go, man. Let's go. So yeah, it's a YouTube channel called Secret Base. They actually break down how like that whole thing fumbled. Like they they break it down, and it's nuts how like he gets marked as not this good quarterback, but he got kind of sabotaged in that. But back to the important teams, the Bengals. I wanted to bring it somewhat personal. I know you've probably heard this joke before, but you cut your dreads recently. Is that a symbol or a metaphor for getting rid of the old Bengals era, the Andy Dalton and Marvin Lewis toxins in the air? Or is it a new day?
Maybe. I feel like, I'm one of them people, bro. I don't really second guess anything in life. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in none of that. I just be preparing and stuff. Or sometimes I go with my gut instinct, and I had woke up one day and I just went to the barbershop, like the dude that we cut my son hair. I went to the store, and then I just like, man, I'm about to set up an appointment. So I was going to just get like a shape up. And I was like, I'm going to tell him I'm going to cut my whole hair up. I never thought about it. Did it. Sometimes I see people now and they be like, what the? And this only been like 3-4 weeks. Even my mom, I'm about to go see her this weekend. She's never seen it yet. So that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like I feel like it's an era. I'm gonna look back and I'm be like, oh yeah, whatever. I never really thought about it. I remember I would look at some pictures and I had like a dope shirt on and I was like, dang, my hair was covering it. I used to say that sometimes.
Yeah.
When I'm at the gym, it's cool now because like now I go to the gym and I don't got to worry about trying to figure out where to put my hair and everything like that. So I don't know, man. I think time will tell, like what it was all for. I really don't even know, bro. I just really just did it. I was like, if I don't like it, I could always grow right back. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really tripping off of it.
I seen you and Flimlo cut y'all, and I was just starting mine. I'm thinking about like
I interviewed him, and I didn't know he cut his hair.
Right. So you just found out on the spot?
Somebody told me in a message or something on Twitter, so I'm like, oh, okay, he must have did it. I don't know that long. But then as soon as we were like backstage before the show, we had a good talk, and I thought it was crazy. We were talking about the energies and stuff like that. I do remember after we lost the Super Bowl, I left the stadium so daggone fast. And I remember I went somewhere and somebody was smoking, and I remember like there's another thing. I had COVID like right before the Ravens game or something like that. So since then I haven't been able to smell or nothing. Word. But it's the weirdest thing. I can't smell, but I remember somebody was smoking after the game and I could smell it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, it's all in my hair. I don't know if there was like some kind of symbol. I was like, I gotta get the Super Bowl loss off of me or something like that.
Word.
I don't know.
So I mean, speaking of eras, I asked Ace this question, and because like so the Andy Dalton and Marvin Lewis era, the Andy Dalton era began when I was like 10, 11. Again, I was a casual then. I'm still pretty much an in-between casual, So tell me what it was like being a diehard Bengals fan during that era.
Man, my AJ Green level was just, all right, now my Ocho, so just so you know, I'm like in my early 30s, right? So, so 89, when the Bengals lost that last Super Bowl, I wasn't even born. So I'm not that old, but I'm not young. Right. It's like I'm in between. That's why I think all the trap music and stuff that I like kind of mixes with You know, like I still like Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these two worlds. So I became a huge, huge fan off of Ocho Cinco. And but AJ Green is my favorite player of all time. So I don't know like when it got higher and higher, but I don't know if you knew this, on Instagram is how I got big, not Twitter. I just got on Twitter like 2 years ago for real. I made that account a long time ago, but I never went on. But on Instagram is how I went. So we were going on Instagram, we was going hard on Dalton, bro, for like 5-6 years. Like after that Super Bowl, I hated him. The only year, I'm gonna tell you a year that people don't really pay attention to, I think it's 2018. Actually, to me, was his best year because he didn't have that many weapons. People was hurt, and he was like in the red zone. He was lights out, bro. Like he was on fire.
Was that the year Tyler Eifert like ankle kind of snapped?
No, bro. At the beginning of the season.
Yeah, against the Falcons, and we had that game-winning drive with AJ.
I think so, bro. I know in that season, this is Bill. You remember Bill Lazor? You ever remember that name? That was the
that
offensive
sounds
coordinator.
Very familiar.
He went on, I think, to the Dolphins or something like that. But whatever they was doing in the red zone, they was cooking, bro. So this is before T. This is before, you know, whatever. This is like year 1 or 2 of Boyd, and then they got Mixon. Mixon come off his rookie year, 2018. So they were very efficient. AJ Green was hurt, so like he didn't have that much, and he was still cooking though. He was doing pretty well. But anytime it was a primetime game, anytime it was like, you know, a major point, he always failed, and I was quick to pick up on it. If you go look at his playoff numbers, bro, 6 interceptions, 1 touchdown. So anybody that's ever talked trash to the Bengals to me, I always be like, bro, like them rosters that we had was lit.
Yeah.
Dalton is the reason why people have been able to talk trash to us for like the last 10 years. It's like we got winning records against all these teams, but then the playoffs didn't go no further. And anytime it was a primetime game, we got our ass whooped. So I hated that part of it. And a big part of like AJ Green to me, had he been paired up with like a Joe Burrow or something like that, bro, everybody would be looking at him like he's Julio or something, you know. And life is about circumstances. I be telling people that online. They be like, if my quarterback if we had Joe Burrow, I'm like, but you don't. You know, like I could sit back and go look at AJ Green and be like, bro, if I had Aaron Rodgers for AJ Green, he'd be the greatest wide receiver of all time. But that's not the way life works. So that was the thing. Like I feel like I was turning up though. I developed something on Instagram called the Harry Nuts game, where we just started taking chances and not giving a fuck and just start going hard and like challenging people, backing it up with stats, just start cooking people online and shit like that, and it just built up. And part of that Andy Dalton thing, I hated him. I was going in on him, bro. Like
that was
always
my guy, man. He was my guy.
Him.
Even how was the 2015 season for you then? Where he
I look at it and I always be like, I think Dalton wished that I know he was happy he got hurt, bro. I don't think he wanted. He didn't want no smoke with none of that. He don't like that type of stuff, bro. He's not built like that. He throws a good football. He's efficient. He's a nice guy. He'll go to church. He'll do all these great things. I feel like he's a good person, but he's not a good communicator. None of the people really hung out with him on the team. People liked him because he was a good guy. He couldn't motivate anybody to ball out and play above their level. Like, you ever seen the huddles and stuff that they like 1, 2, 3, like nobody, he motivated nobody. So everything in 2015 is like mid-level. Like all them dudes on that team, they still in the league. Sanu, Marvin Jones, all them dudes, they still playing.
Word.
That's how good they were back then, bro. Like Marvin Jones would have been looked at like how they look at like, I don't know, like maybe like Tyler Lockett or somebody like that, but he just didn't have like this elite quarterback to throw to him. So I always be thinking about that. Like, you know, I wish I would have, could have, but it kind of like made it so I could see, like when I see a mid quarterback like Mitch Trubisky or something, I'd be like, oh, we got a Dalton. So you're just gonna be stuck right there and you can't get out of it because you need to lose games to go get you a top tier draft pick, whether it's on defense or offense. And if you're mid, that's worse than being the worst team in the NFL. I'd rather be the worst team than be a mid-level team because Ryan Tannehill's of the world, like you're just going to be mid for like damn near a decade. And then you're going to be looking up like, damn, I just wasted all that time. And I feel like that about Dalton, bro. Like he was never going to get you where you want to go. Look at Baker Mayfield in the playoffs. He actually cooked when it was time to cook in that game, and he won the game against the Steelers in his first playoff game. Dalton never did that. Dalton was favored in all them games, bro. All them 4 games, he was always favored. The other game, like I said, where whatchamacallit comes in, where what's your boy? God, bro from Alabama.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, AJ McCarron comes in and plays a like not even a good game. Like he just comes back and he a gamer. But that was a mid game. You didn't even have to be that good on that team to win a first round playoff game. And AJ McCarron almost won that game just on the strength of.
How you think he would have did in that game? I know you say he would. He would
have won that game.
He would have won that game. I got you. But bro,
you didn't have to do nothing. Like, no, we were that much better than them. The Steelers had no business being in the playoffs that game. The Steelers, if you really want to go back, 2005 is the best team that I've ever been watching the Bengals. Okay. That's Ocho Cinco, Houshmandzadeh, and the late great Chris Henry. That was the best wide receiver trio to me. Yeah. But in that game, Carson Palmer was like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. He led the league in touchdowns. They tore his leg up on the first play of the game. Yeah. If you know your history, like so in that game, that wasn't that long ago. In that game, we blew them out during the regular season, and we were going to the playoffs, and we were a better team. That was the best team. That was better in 2015 to me. And
my apologies.
So that team could have done crazy or whatever. 2015 was the same way. That team was way better than the Steelers that year. The Steelers had no business being in. Steelers had no business being in the playoffs last year, and they got blown out again.
I remember vividly the Jets had a game. If they won, they was in, and the Steelers was out. Then Ryan Fitz magic, But speaking of the 2005, I'll edit this part out, but I don't want to take too much of your time here.
I'm good.
You good? Okay, because I got some questions and stuff.
I don't know what time. Yeah, just go. We're good.
Okay, got you. Just like 7
my
minutes.
AirPod don't die.
Okay. So 2005, I think I got in where I think Palmer was injured in 1 year. I think it was the year it was Jordan Palmer in there. We had a few. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick was actually our quarterback in a couple games that I was when I first started watching them. And then my grandmother, she was a Steelers fan. My cousin was a Steelers fan. It was hard to be a Bengals fan like for a very long time. Like so, and I gave some smoke to the CJ Uzomah recently in my video that just went crazy. And I compared him to Carson Palmer. And I know you got some smoke for Carson Palmer as well. So could you explain for somebody like me who was like I was like 9, 8 years old at best around that time. So could you explain what happened with that situation?
What after he left or like during the whole situation?
Like why he left and stuff like that. Because I know like after he was basically never the same after that 2005 injury.
Right. So the injury happens. He's never the same. He was the one that wanted T.O. He got T.O. on the team that year. They ended up still being bad, and they only won like 4 games. T.O. actually almost had 1,000 yards, which is crazy.
Did he play that whole season? Palmer? Did Palmer play that whole season?
Yep.
Wow. That's bad.
They didn't have that great of a season. You know, that was the tail end of Ocho Cinco. But T.O., like, bro, if he would have played one more game, he could have got 1,000 yards. People don't talk about that. We always had wide receivers. Like, that's crazy. But Palmer, though, wanted to be traded. Mike Brown wasn't going for it. Like, he honored, like, back then, he would never cut somebody early. So he had him sitting at home. We had we you know, that's the Fitzpatrick project, I believe. You know, like now he comes in, but Hugh Jackson is with the Raiders and then sends us an offer that we can't refuse. I think it's like a first and a second, like 2 firsts and a second or something. I got you gotta Google or something like that. The offer is crazy. So he gets him up out of there, and that's how it happens. Like, that's why I tell people with the Jesse Bates situation, it doesn't matter if you want to sit out or not. Like, that won't work on Mike Brown. Like, he'll just let you sit and just say, all right, cool, we're just not gonna pay you the money, and then we're just gonna use the money on somebody else. Like, a lot of other organizations are a little bit different with that. They don't want the PR with it, but Mike Brown doesn't talk to the media, so he doesn't really care.
Right.
He only talks to him one time a year, so he's like, I don't even got to deal with that.
So with the what I said in my last video, I said that we should start giving Mike Brown and the Bengals in the front office the benefit of the doubt. I feel like they listening. Are you worried, or how do you feel about the Jesse Bates situation?
I'm not worried about it. I feel like it's going to play out. Like, I feel he's been talking and communicating with all the guys. I went to a Joe Mixon party, probably like, it's been like 3 weeks now. I know the day before there was like a music festival. He was with them and stuff.
Word. I seen he went to the UFC with
Joe. With Joe. So like you know, he been with the guys. He's been communicating with Dax Hill. I think he's going to come, but you got to think from a player standpoint. If you come out there and get hurt, you can sign. He can sign a franchise tag. Come get hurt, collect his $13 million. But then now his value is down. So now you got to go do a 1-year prove-it deal for somebody else.
Yeah.
So if you're his agent, you're telling him, like, look, don't even practice, don't do none of that stuff. Let's get you a full season where you can ball out. And then if you ball out, we can go get the $18 million per from somebody else. Or we can go get it from Marion because the Bengals not trying to give it to you. Right, and so the Bengals are like, shoot, I got a franchise. We've offered you a franchise tag or whatever. Come sign the joint. I think he signs at like week 1 and plays, bro. And I think our defense is gonna go crazy. Yeah. Because some people be like, well, what if he doesn't play that hard? No, he's got to, because he's auditioning for his next team, and you want to get the most money. The only way to get the money is to perform well. Right. So he's got to perform and do that. But and then when he signs that $13 million, he's gonna be the 3rd highest safety paid this upcoming season. It's not like it's a BS deal. It's real money. So it's not ideal, but it is what it is, and I think it's gonna work out. Him, Von Bell, and Dax Hill on the field at the same time is crazy. Like that's crazy to me.
Jesse Bates was a true playmaker in these playoffs. Like that, for sure. I'll never forget that play against the Chiefs.
Bro, when I was there, let me tell you about that play.
Oh yeah, you was there. You in the smoke.
That play is so crazy. I also remember Jesse Bates dropping that pick 6 against the 49ers that would have ended the game at the last 30 seconds. But the Chiefs game is crazy because we go to overtime. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. I'm not seeing none of that stuff like Chiefs talking about we won the toss. I don't see none of that. I'm just around a whole bunch of Chiefs.
Forgot that shit.
Bro. All of that stuff afterwards, I went on the internet like the next couple of days, and I've just seen how much stuff I missed. I was like, wow, this is crazy. My phone was on fire. We're down 21-3. So everybody like, run that money you owe me. I'm like, the game not over yet. All right, so the game we got to overtime, whatever. I already knew the first play or two. I'm like, these boys are scared. They like looking weak. I'm like, I'm hyped in my seat. Oh, like Joe Burrow dad, like right in front of me. He looks back at me. He's like, I'm like, yeah, we get that ball back. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
The ball gets knocked down. I'm celebrating. I'm giving high fives and stuff. Everybody, we thinking like, all right, bet we about to get the punt. I look up and we got the ball. I never saw the interception. I never saw it. And after the game, I'm gonna tell you how crazy and how weird this is. I'll stand by this for the rest of my life. I saw that ball hit the ground, or I saw the ball like just go down or something. Watching the replay looks nothing like when I was there on some weird shit, bro. Like everybody that I asked after the game, I said, bro, did you see the interception? They was like, nah, but it was a fire, right? I'm like, yeah, it was, like we high-fiving. But if you were there, it happened so fast, and we really was sitting there thinking they about to punt the ball back to us. And I just thought that was wild. If you ever meet somebody that was at the game, ask them, do they remember seeing the interception? Yeah. I promise you.
I got a video because, like, bro, we got Joe fucking Burrow, man. We get that interception, the game is over.
It's a wrap. They were walking out.
Yeah, I got the video. Like, well, I ain't got the video. My girl got the video of me because I knew. Like, I can't speak for anybody who was watching at home, but I knew it was interception. It, like, bro, best fucking moment of my life. Like, I you don't know it because you in that moment, but man, that's like, as a sports fan, that's the moments you live for. Because like, we ain't got an NBA team, we got a soccer team now, but who really, watching that? Baseball, Red's been kind of in the dumps for a minute. Right. Bengals fans,
I don't really watch baseball or soccer.
Yeah. So like, they could grand slam win a.
You in Cincy?
Yeah, I'm in Cincy. Yeah.
Okay.
Cincy, yeah. It's crazy because well, I might have to call you back because I ain't got the pro on this Zoom, so I might have to call you back. But it's crazy because I met the guy who makes ZIM, not ZIM, Ace's shirts, and like I seen his logo, or I seen his logo in the shop, and I'm like, bro, I text Ace, I'm like, bro, I think they selling your shirts in here. And he said, yeah, let me know who it is. And it was like a whole mix up and something. Like, man, I almost got a choke because I pick up they recycling in Norwood.
Okay.
And yeah, so are you from
Oh no, I live in DC. I just had family ties and stuff. So early on, I used to be there. Yeah, like I'm
okay. I was about
yeah,
to
you
ask you,
probably could
like,
tell I sound a little different.
yeah, I was about to ask you, like, why the Bengals though? I mean,
People be
now,
saying that. Yeah, it's a crazy story, like I just early on I fell in love with like the Bengals, I was young, I was traveling. My dad used to travel a lot, so I used to go to a lot of games and stuff. And then like I had family members that's connected to the Bengals. So it was natural. Like I was the only guy in my school, bro. Like what you probably were, I don't even know, you might have been in elementary school, but when Jordan Brand took when they first started off, the first team that they picked up was the Bearcats. So I was really a real I think that was like when I was in like I might have been like in elementary school too. But anyway, Team Jordan first starts off, and the first team that they pick is the Cincinnati Bearcats. So all of my like Jordans and stuff like that, and all of my shoes like back then, all my clothes, like, and people in DC, we used to all wear like Bearcat shorts. Right. So like I started being like a Bearcats fan off the strength of all my gear was that. Then they had this crazy run in basketball. I don't know if you ever heard about that. Kenyon Martin breaks his leg. They were like the best team in the country, bro.
For real? I'm not even hip to, man.
Oh my God. All right. So, bro, like like McDonald's All-Americans and basketball and stuff like that. Yeah. So, bro, they had a whole team of all of them. Like the team was lit. Like even the bench was McDonald's All-Americans. Yeah. So like the team was number one the whole entire season. They only lost like one game, bro. The last game of the season, the best player on the team, Kenyon Martin, breaks his leg, and then they end up going out like second round in the whatever. But they was number one the whole year. They was nasty. The nastiest college basketball team like I've ever seen. This wasn't like this like
Cincinnati don't get credit for it though. Like we be having our like I didn't even know PFF was in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
like, we don't get credit for shit.
I had a PFF special one time. Matter of fact, I linked up with them at the bar. Got most of them like hammer one night, but we did a PFF special. Me and Ace did last year. We interviewed like every single day. We like interviewed somebody from PFF and stuff. So Chris Collinsworth, who is like a Bengals legend, he started that. That. So like that's it. He started that. Chris Collins was the wide receiver. So.
I used to hear him on Madden, and like I didn't even know he was like he wide receiver, right? For
he was a dog.
Like that's the like you just don't hear that
crazy.
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you, when you go look at that, go look at Bearcats. I think it's 2002. Go look at that basketball team. Hard.
I got you.
Like they were swagged out, and I'm saying it was the only team in college basketball sponsored by Jordan too. So everything like fresh J's every time, fresh like everything like so like around the country, everybody was wearing black, red, and white Jordans and stuff, and wearing Bearcats like jackets and stuff. So that's how I really started doing. And then I went to a game there, and then one of the weekends I went to a Bengals game, and it was lit. So I just been a Bengals fan ever since. I was a big Ocho Cinco fan. I ended up being like a real big AJ Green fan. I got an AJ Green chain and everything made and all this stuff. I got 18 on right now. Yeah, like I'm probably I got a bunch of AJ Greens. Man, here I'm working on my new shit. Look, this is my whole lot of revenge.
Oh yeah, we on that. You gonna have a black logo?
Yeah. Going through. About to drop this joint.
Oh yeah, we on that.
Savage mode. I'm a big 21 fan, so
word.
I fuck with 21 Savage.
You gonna need me to edit this out, or it's cool?
It'd be like it's a quick sneak preview, fan.
Word.
That's an exclusive. I never showed anybody that.
Oh shit, I appreciate it, man. We love it, man.
So this gonna go crazy. I promise you. Watch.
So Yeah, it's been a great year, especially like for y'all. Ace, his shirt went crazy. Joe was wearing that. Tell me, like, as y'all too, like, how does that feel? Is like to be shown love from the people y'all show love to the most, like not the most, but other than your family, like something y'all love so much is being like the love is being shown back to y'all.
Hey, you want me to go up and down or sideways like I had it?
I think sideways would fill it out. Yeah, if
All
that
right.
if that works
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, no, it's dope, bro. Like, I mean, I never thought I would be making like money and stuff and getting sponsorships and all that stuff like that when I first started. I started a podcast. If you go look in it, it's still in the Apple, whatever, before I even met Ace and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have like a desk and stuff. I used to record on my floor, bro. Like
Word.
I didn't care. So
Yeah.
I used to, like I just thought, I don't know, I just went hard. Then I interviewed a couple guys and stuff, and I just started picking up steam. And I literally wake up every day and like go look at my phone for alerts and Bengal stuff anyway. So I was like, shoot, I might as well do it every day. So
Right,
I
right,
don't care
right.
where I am, bro. I'll be around. I'll be on a trip. It's still Bengal stuff, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun, man. And then, like people show love, I guess, because, like I feel like we're all like family in some regard, And
Yeah.
I mean, I guess unless you do some weird stuff, but aside from that, like everything good,
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
been cool. Like all my artists and designers for my whole lot of orange stuff. My Burrow Babies clothes and all that stuff. They're all out of Cincinnati. They're like tattoo artists. They're like people I be having conversations with, all
mm-hmm.
types of stuff. So it's like it's just one big network of like it's almost like why people join a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
just like connections. It
yeah.
just ends up being like something big. Like we started up a fantasy football league this first time for the first time ever, and it's all like Bengals, like Yaz, Bengal Lorian, Bengals captain, all these guys like that. So like we just
Yeah.
started that out like this past weekend, but
So how
we
that's
just
gonna
be
be?
connected.
Ain't y'all gonna have to be rooting for the wrong players and stuff like that, though?
I'm sure. I'm just here to beat everybody ass though.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. So
One thing I don't do though, I really don't draft Steelers players. Like other than that though, I do draft anybody. Like
yeah,
there have been some weeks in fantasy. I got over that though. That was like years ago. But there was some weeks in fantasy though. Yeah, you literally like I think I had like Darren Waller or something going against the Bengals or something, and I was like, damn, I got shit. Like I want
yeah,
to win the game, but I want my boy to get some points. But don't nothing trump, the Bengals winning for me.
right,
Like
right, right.
the people in my real fantasy league, they be like fantasy football is everything for them. They
Yeah,
like that more than their team, and I'm not like that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I want the Bengals to win more than all of them.
yeah. I did fantasy for a few years, but it was kind of interfering with it. It was kind of because I did it with my step pops, and he'd talk shit. Like he will talk shit. So like I was like, all right, I'll draft a few Bengals players, but man, I ain't about to. I can't. This was like that 2-14 season, that season that got us Joe. So it was like, all right, I love y'all, but I can't have y'all on my team right now. Um,
Right.
I want
But
to.
this past year was the most Bengals I ever had, and it's just because the people I'm in the draft with, they just thought that the Bengals suck.
Yeah.
So they let me I draft Jamar Chase late.
Oh, I
I
know
draft
you
Burrow.
ate.
Yeah, I won the chip. I got the trophy. Hold up.
It's a trophy. Oh man, we just bet money. It's a whole trophy. Oh shit.
I won the
Oh
whole chip
man,
off Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, all
that
that.
is nuts.
Whole chip,
Wow,
bro.
wow. That I
Stop
mean
playing with me.
that's good because like I remember I had to draft Andy one year. He was all right, but
He
like,
all right.
but
He
to
was
be
all
able,
right in fantasy.
yeah.
A sleeper in fantasy this year is Hayden Hurst. I feel like
Hayden
you could get
Hurst.
him in. Man, I feel like he gonna eat in fantasy.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean by that because I mean you are more of the X's and O's guy, and I got a question for you on that. But I could see it just on a casual, like a surface level of, you kind of got to focus on them three weapons. So,
Right,
and then
right.
either,
You
then
gotta
you got
pick your
mixing.
poison.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your poison. You gotta think Uzomah's best year ever was this past season. Hayden Hurst is better than Uzomah.
Mm. We don't need talking about you, something, man. We ain't even talking about him.
He did a condolences post because I know it's like a shooting or something that happened this past weekend out there where 9 people were lost their lives. So send my condolences out to the family.
They good. They good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they it was like all non-critical, which is weird.
Really?
Yeah, it was super weird because it's a video of people running, and like you hear like a lot of gunshots. So
Bro, you know what's so crazy? When I was there 3 weeks ago, it was a bunch of It was a shooting downtown, and everybody was running. They said I had just checked in my hotel. They was like, man, it was a shooting like couple like just not too long ago. I'm like, really? Right down here, right by Fountain's Way, bro.
I've been doing a lot of DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that. So I usually stay in that area. So I mean, but it was like early morning, like late morning type stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, but everybody cool. I mean, other than the fact that they, got injured, but yeah,
right.
Which is again fucking nuts. But yeah,
see, I just saw I saw it last night, and I just read a little bit this morning, but I didn't get all the details. I saw Uzama though gave a post, or he said something, or a post or something about it. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but I don't know why. Like, man, I don't know, because all I seen was the clip you tweeted. So it was like, all right, in my video, I'm saying like I'm gonna try to give him the benefit of the doubt, man, but it don't sound good. It sound like he hating, man. Sound like he hating. But
well, look, if you're not with the best, you're not with Joe no more. You know what time it is. Like,
should have took the pay cut. Should have took the lunch money, man.
Should have took it. Now you gotta talk about what you used to do and all that other stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you, that's a good situation for anybody to be in with Joe Burrow, bro.
Yeah, it ain't too pretty over there in the Jets world. But I just want to talk about, because I don't think, because you went to the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl week, man, like it was fucking crazy. Like when you talk about, I didn't go. I was saying it
was crazy.
Yeah, so like I went grocery shopping that day, and like, man, they just yelling Houday and Kroger. Like they had a bus. It just, when you say it's like a family, man, it's really like that, and it's crazy.
I already know that was cool.
Yeah, because but man, I was thinking, man, if we win the Super Bowl, first of all, we got to get you on that parade. We got to get you on the float.
Oh, I'm on a float.
Whatever. Yeah,
I'm on a float. There's no way in the world I'm not on that float.
And like, man, I'm calling off work, and we go get that moment, man. We go get it. Joe gonna be on there holding up.
The parade afterwards, or whatever they had afterwards. I ain't like that one. I was like, I was like, bro, I'm not celebrating losing the Super Bowl. And people was like, I mean, well, you gotta celebrate that game. And I was like, I did that at Arrowhead. Like I did that like afterwards, and I turned up and I celebrated the AFC Championship. Like I get it, but I couldn't get with that one. Like, like celebrating like losing the Super Bowl. Like I couldn't get with that one.
Was it a whole parade, or was it like a
like a pet rally downtown or something?
See, I don't got a problem with that, because it's like
people didn't get a chance.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's just like, it ain't too many moments. Like Joe said after the game, he watched the Joe Montana documentary, and he learned that, or with Joe, he never appreciated just what he did. Like, although he lost, he never appreciated what he did. I think because it's only so many times anything can happen, and I do think we're going to be back. But I just think, like, man, the 2021, 2022 season, that got to be appreciated, because that didn't, like, I don't think anybody.
Look, that was the greatest. We talked about all them other things. That was the best season of my life. Like, it was super unexpected, but at the same time, like, bro, like, all the moments and stuff, it was dope. I don't know, like, when people try to say like, oh, they got lucky and stuff like that. No, I'm like, no, I'm watching this team like evolve like right in front of my eyes, like every single week. I never felt like it was a team that got lucky. I just felt like it was like they were balling, bro. They, like, if you really was like, Like even from week one, like Jamar Chase had 100 yards in the first game ever, like in his first game, bro. Like that was a crazy year, bro. Like I don't know how people be acting funny about like that. I had fun. Like I was turning up. Like every single autumn games, like by the time we got to the playoffs, I was everywhere. I was with all the families. And
what was your goal for that season though? Because I could tell you, mine was like last year. I was hoping for 5 wins. We kind of got it if you count that Eagles tie as a win. This year, I was hoping to make the playoffs. Next year, or I think it was one of the two: make the playoffs or beat that streak. Because that's what's lost in all of this. That Super Bowl run, we finally got that playoff win, and like that's just Joe being Joe. Fucking like fuck that playoff win. We trying to get the Super Bowl. All that. So like, what was your goal for this season? What was your like milestone?
I mean, that I got a tweet that was like, talking about like this is I had it broken down into 3 things in my so the first one was, this is this past season was the year, this is the Jamar Chase like what hello world moment where we go crazy, and I thought we would win a playoff game or at least go to a playoff and be successful in that realm. I never thought they would go to a Super Bowl. Like I never thought that. After they beat, I know this is a weird game, I guess, but I was at the Jazz game.
Me too.
The way that they won that game, it just had this feel to it. I was like, all right. Yeah, that's a playoff team, and I mean, I was on the camera, I was running around, and I'm like, bro, we're going to playoffs. We're gonna. Everybody's like, bro, chill. I'm like, nah, like that's a playoff team.
I gotta tell you, I got that feeling from the first game that you brought up, the Vikings game, because usually
the first game of the season.
Yeah, usually when we had Andy or we had Fat Randy, 1 or 2 things are going to happen. We are not going to, Andy can be clutch at times, but we are not going to win that game, or 2, Randy's going to miss that field goal kick or that game winner. That's when it was like, all right, this team is okay. We better. And then the Chicago game happened, and that was like a fluky loss. Should have won that game. And then the Jazz game, that was like, all right, just give Joe a chance. I know it's going to happen. And the game you often bring up, and the game that I love, even though we lost, the 49ers game.
That's my favorite game. That's my favorite Joe Burrow game.
And
that's my favorite Joe Burrow game.
I love that game because I seen Peyton Manning. He broke that. I believe that was that game that he broke down. Just like that's when you could say that Joe figured it out. Joe figured it out, because before that game, it was like, all right, can Joe just not turn the ball over? Can we just like not turn the ball over and we'll be good? And it's just crazy to think about if we would have figured that out in the beginning of the season. And now we're going to have it figured out for next season, and an offensive line and maybe a slightly better tight end defense. It's scary what this team could be. So what do you think is the goal for this year? What's the goal for this year?
It's the winning Super Bowl.
Super Bowl or bust?
I wouldn't say it's Super Bowl or bust. Like for me, it's, you were talking about this at the beginning of this pod or this YouTube or whatever. It's like
just a combo, man.
So like, but you want to shut people up. How do you shut people up? You consistently win year after year, year after year. So I think there's going to be a lot of haters and weird people say we don't win a Super Bowl, right? Because it's super hard to win a Super Bowl, which we learned. You need a lot of things to work in your favor.
Yeah.
Say you don't win a Super Bowl, you're going to have a million people that be like, ha, 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 I told you it was a luck or whatever. But those same people will slowly start to shut up if you could just stack up playoff after. Joe Burrow came to that podium where at one time and said, hey, look, this is the standard. Like, we're going to the playoffs like every single year. So, like, you do that for like 4 seasons straight. What Joe Burrow playing at this level? Like, nobody, I think it'll erase everything that they thought about it. Like, I think people are going to be, they'll then go and be like, y'all used to be trash. But, like, right now, you know what I'm saying? So, it's not Super Bowl or bust. I feel like in this 10-year window, I will live with the fact that I'll always be like, damn, we could have had that one You know, like if we end up getting 2 chips, I'm gonna always be like, dang, we should have had 3.
Yeah.
But in this 10-year window, I just feel like I'm more like out in 10 years where I'm just like I think Joe gonna play for a long time, bro. I say
so?
10. I think it might be like when it gets towards the end, maybe that's when we start talking about like Joe possibly going to another team or whatever. You at some point.
Ooh.
But that's too far. But that's how I think. That's how I think.
Yeah.
But like 10 years though,
reality
I just feel
sucks, man.
the reality is Father Time is undefeated. The reality is that all great players on that level never feel like they're done.
Yeah.
So the franchise might feel like they're done. They're going to end like Brett Favre ended up with the Jets. Joe Montana ended up with the Chiefs. Like those are the years that nobody really remembers. Is Russell Wilson at that point where now like he is at the end? We'll find out this year. I don't think so. I think he's really good still. But I think it's more like a 10-year window. So to me, it's like right now I want to go to the playoffs and I want to host 2 home games. I think that the Bengals probably will be like a 2 seed. I hope I can go back on this interview and say like, oh shit, I told y'all. I think I'll probably end up being a 2 seed just because I just know like how the season goes. You might take some games for granted. I don't think that they're gonna lose like more than like 4 games, bro. I just can't. I can't see it. I never felt like that in my whole entire life. Never in 2005. Never in 2015. Never. This is the first time I'm like, I don't see them. I honestly think they might only lose like 3-4 games, bro, if that. Like on some incredible. Like if you look at the other teams, they're just so much better than those teams as far as like their coaching staff. How many guys did you lose? Like cohesion, all these things that we really value in life, like consistency and stuff. The team is super consistent and super like linked and unified in that regard.
Yeah.
The one thing that you can't stop is health. Say somebody gets hurt or something like that. If Joe is there, I feel like it's like it's not a wash. But Joe, going to fill in. Yeah, like you always got a chance with number 9, bro. So maybe we lose more games than that if a major injury happens or something. Knock on wood. This is a wood table. So that is a possibility, and that's just the realities of life. And I understand that in a 10-year window. I can't stop that. But as long as I'm healthy, though, like I just feel like if they can go to the playoffs and host like a home game, like how we did this past year, and then that second game be at home, then I just feel like they'll go right back to the bowl. If they're in a position where they go to playoffs and maybe they're like a 4 or 5 seed or something like that, and then they end up not getting that home game or something, putting themselves in a bad situation, it's real like shit can happen. So I can see that too, but I really don't see them like teams like the Cowboys and stuff like that. I just feel like are severely overrated. Like some of these teams that they're like, oh yeah, I think y'all gonna lose. I think they're gonna blow them out.
You've had some smoke with some Dallas fans. I know
they talk. They talk crazy online, bro. Cowboy fans talk.
Oh my god,
they talk crazy online, bro. Like, I mean, they were a playoff team now.
Yeah,
the playoff.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just.
Bro, do you know the Cowboys, the Bengals have more playoff wins than the Cowboys do in the last 26 years? I had to go into space and tell somebody that the other day.
Yes, and
like talking crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was thinking like, man, speaking of the 21 season, if that was the Cowboys, that is a movie that is not being. Because like from Joe Burrow,
if that's the Cowboys, if that's the Steelers, if that's like name any of them teams. If you say any of them teams, they will currently be the favorite to win the whole thing. It would be a movie. All them dudes would be on the cover of a magazine. You wouldn't be able to skate. If Cowboys had that level of success, ESPN, we wouldn't even be able to cut it on, bro.
Because we go get it though. Because Joe, he got that swagger about him. Jamar they all got star quality. We go get it. That's why I love this season so much. Because like I remember you saying in the previous I believe podcast, you were saying like how we got these night games and stuff like that. And the one regret you had about the Super Bowl is the guy that you've seen in in all season, he didn't really show what he can do, as in Joe Burrow. He didn't really show what he can do all that well, but now we go have that chance to show him. And
Yeah.
but you brought up the coaching staff, and this is one of my last questions, man. I know you're a busy man. So
I gotta load up this whole lot of revenge on them.
we waiting for it, bro.
That's it. I've never told nobody I'm doing a whole lot of revenge or any of that stuff. Like, yeah, there's an exclusive in that regard. We gotta go crazy.
It's love, bro. It's love. So
I appreciate you having me, man.
Man, I appreciate you coming on, bro. You ain't even have to do it, but I appreciate it, bro. So Zach Taylor, I know you've complimented this coaching staff on their adjustments. It's been a few things where you could point out to. The one that sticks in my mind is not having Joe Mixon in that last play of the Super Bowl. Do you think how much do you believe in him as Zach Taylor?
It's a good question, man. I believe enough of him to win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Do I consider him like an elite coach or something like that? No. I feel like his gut and his knack for calling certain stuff, like his feel for the game, I kind of worry about that. If you were to tell me like what's another reason, the only tangible thing that I could grab and say like this is something that I feel like they wouldn't do it would be Zach Taylor's decision making, like in late game decisions and stuff. Because from an offensive coordinator standpoint, maybe we'll see it because now the offensive line is blocking and stuff like now. But from a coordinator standpoint, he doesn't do like what the elites like Andy Reid or McVay do to scheme guys up so that they're like wide open.
Right.
Like they do that for like Deebo Samuels of the world. Like Shanahan does that for him weekly.
Yeah.
McVay does that for, Cup weekly. These guys on our team are just making plays and like beating people like straight up. Like if they had that level of coaching, we wouldn't lose a game. Like if we had Belichick and then you had like a coordinator, like and say Zach was the coordinator or something like that, we wouldn't lose a game.
Right.
But because Zach has to be the head coach and the play caller, and I worry about like these gut type of things, it kind of like brings them down a notch. The staff has been together for the last 4 years. I love that. I love the fact that 9 times out of 10, you go to a Super Bowl, like Lou Anarumo interviewed for a couple jobs and stuff like that. But normally you go to the Super Bowl and you lose coaching. They didn't. They only gained like a couple coaches and stuff. So I feel like that's going to work in their favor.
What's the deal with the Zimmer thing? I seen Mike Zimmer was like at the practice.
Yeah, but his son is now a part of our staff on the offensive side of it. So now have that too. So I think that's gonna be lit, bro. Like I don't really worry about them in that moment. I do worry about him like when we lose the game or 2 this year or whatever games we lose. I think you'll be able to point and say, why does Zach do that at that moment?
Right.
It won't be because like the Chargers game where Mixon just fumbles the ball and it's a scoop and score. Like I think you'll literally be like, bro, why did they call that at that moment? And that's probably why we lost the game.
Yeah. Do you think that the last play of the Super Bowl is one of those things? Because me and my cousin had a discussion about because what hurts most about that Super Bowl is Jamar was wide the fuck open. If he just had one more second.
One more second.
So I believe that there was a missed block or something. It was because
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald was supposed to be double teamed, but he kind of like blew past one of the guys, or he missed his assignment, one of the two.
Quentin Spain.
Yeah, do you think that's a Zach Taylor thing? And also, again, not having Joe Mixon in there, or do you think that was an offensive line thing?
That Super Bowl thing is so tricky, bro, because it's like
it hurts, bro. It hurts, man. It hurts.
The Super Bowl joint is so tricky to me because it's not everybody had a hand in it. Like it wasn't like you could just point to one moment.
Right.
I don't even really look at the last drive. I look at like after Wouzier gets the interception. Remember, T. Higgins gets the touchdown, or Wouzier gets the interception, and then we come back and only kick a field goal. And we should have stomped on their neck, blew them out.
Yeah.
Blew them out, like game over.
It hurts, bro.
They went 5 straight possessions. That's the part where I look at Zach, and I hate the play calling in them 5 straight possessions because he was like getting baited into running the football instead of throwing the football. The Rams didn't want us to throw deep. Yeah. One thing that happened before the week prior, like Bengals fans, we know our offensive line sucked, right?
Yeah.
for the average casual on like they're like, yeah, y'all lost the Super Bowl because your offensive line. I'm like, no shit, our offensive line sucked all year though.
Yeah.
The week before they threw 7 screens in the Chiefs game because it negates a pass rush. Pass rush coming in, you screen, you got all these guys. So now you got the defensive end thinking about it. And I thought that was really big in that Chiefs AFC Championship game. They had so much success. And the Rams were the worst team in the National Football League against screens. They didn't throw any screens. They threw 1 screen in the whole game and then went for like -1 yards, and they never threw one again. And
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
The 5 straight possessions is so bad that I look at that and I don't really look at the last one because we know what happened on 3rd down with Logan Wilson. Let's forget that. All right, now we got the ball. All right, so now we got the ball. First play of the game, boom. It's a smoke ride. Like, I don't know, they do at the line of scrimmage. Jamar Chase cooks up Jalen Ramsey. Goes for like 20 yards or something like that. Boom. So I'm like, bet. We damn near in field goal range. Yeah. 2nd down. He does another audible at the line to Jamar Chase. Miscommunication. They throw away the ball 2nd down. That's the big play. They gave up a play. The clock does stop, but the 2nd down play is crazy. 3rd down. That's a Zach joint to me because you didn't have Mixon in. Split second shit, you're going fast. I get it. You didn't got Mixon in there. But the key block to that play is to Aaron Donald. And I'm like, why would you run there? Run to the other side to go get the 3rd and 1. Boom. They line it up fast. They don't get the 1st down. 4th down, and you go into a spread. And then this is another thing. I don't feel like it's on Zach. This is more offensive line a little bit. The play call was gutsy, but it's a call that they run a lot. And I think teams are going to be hip to it. 4th down and 1. They're waiting for T. Higgins to come across the hash mark. He runs it every game that we need a big 3rd down. T. Higgins coming off the hash in route. And he did in the AFC Championship game like 3 times. So the Rams clearly saw it on tape. The cornerback jumps off of his man and then jumps right onto the route. So Joe goes to pump the ball and he's looking like, oh shit, I can't throw that. Uzomah is the next read. They're well coached. So this is just a good play by the Rams in this regard. Yeah. The safety then jumps on Uzomah. So now the first 2 reads are gone. 2 seconds is gone. That's all you really got for it. By the time he goes to look to his right, Aaron Donald's in his face because Quentin Spain fucks up his block. But at the same time, it's Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in the game. So what can you do? I get Jamar Chase is wide open. I just really wish that if Joe could have thought about I hated the 4th down call in itself anyway, because I feel like you should just line that shit up and run for the 1 yard. The spot was bad, but you go into a spread formation with a bad offensive line and you're going against one of the best defensive lines. It's not that, like, you could do that in college. You can't do that in the NFL. I think this year they're going to spread out teams a lot more.
Yeah.
The throw to Jamar could have happened. Immediately Joe goes off the field. He goes and looks at the iPad. He says Jamar's wide open because they audible to that right before the play. And, and I know Jamar is like, he slams his helmet because he's thinking like, bro, I got him. And they had that all day. Another thing I hate about that is the best wide receivers in the NFL get 10 targets a game. Jamar Chase, how does he come out of the Super Bowl with like 5 targets? How does T. Higgins only come out of the Super Bowl with like 5 targets? T. Higgins had more yards than anybody in that game, and they only targeted him like 5 times. Right. The 5 straight possessions before that last drive that we had no points are bigger than that last drive that I just described.
Yeah, it hurts to look back on that day, man.
I like talking about it. It does hurt, but it's one of them things I think I'll always be able. I won't forget. I remember all the. I'm right there. I'm looking at it, and it's so like, bro. Unlike TV, where you got all these angles and you can look at all this stuff, it was happening so fast. Like my heart. I remember my heart felt like it was about to just burst out of my chest because it's just. I'm like, whoa. Like, slow this down. Like, why is this moving so fast? Like, 2nd down to 4th down was like. I felt like 30 seconds, bro. Like the 2nd down was like was a throwaway. 3rd down, the run play doesn't get there, but they line up so fast to run that 4th down. I don't know how it looks on TV.
Yeah, on TV, you didn't see that Jamar was. I didn't see that Jamar was open till like 2 days later, which was just re-hurt everything.
I didn't really see it either because as soon as they went in the spread, I said, Ace, I grabbed my bag, bro. I didn't. 4th down and 1. I believed in it, but I did when I saw a spread formation and it was 4th down, I just was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I just was like, they can't block that. You can't like he's got to get the ball out so quick. You can't block that. Not against Aaron Donald, bro. Like you cannot go spread 4th down. And then the other thing, I just was out of there, bro. I got him out of there quick. I was gone. I got on the bus so quick.
It just shows how everything has to go right. When you think about if Riley Reef was in that game, if you think about Tyler Boyd didn't drop that pass, why we didn't screen. I'm sitting there the whole game like, why are we not screening? And I'm like a mid-casual between, I'm not an expert at all.
You know, the first half of the game, they didn't get no sack. If they got a sack, it was like at the end of the second quarter. They came back and said, you know what, bro, we bigger than these dudes. We just gonna bull rush all of them and just come at these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And that shit worked. And Joe, I think Joe thinking he could just be Joe. He didn't realize, like, on 3rd down to the Rams, bro, like, that was just a different animal, I feel like. You know, like, the Titans was a different animal, too. But I just know that he knew on that last drive, just like I did. I thought they were going to win. Yeah. Tyler Boyd drops the pass. I was like, oh, shit. Like, all right. Then, you know, that sequence that Logan Wilson, all that. I'm still thinking the Bengals. I'm like, bro, I've seen this before. Joe's still going to come down there and win. After the first play go to Jamar, I'm like, I'm dancing, bro. I'm like, yeah, we winning.
Yeah.
We get towards that end part, and I just was like, oh no. Like that 4th down, if you go look at the 3rd down, it's so close. I thought it was a first down. I high-fived somebody, was like, first down. And I was like, hold up. Hold on. Like, let's look at the spot. P-Round looks like he's over the line to me. And then they get a spot. Bro, it's like a whole yard and a half. So it goes from here, where you thinking like maybe you could just do a quarterback sneak. They spot the ball. That joint is like this. And they line up so quick. No challenge to the spot. None of that. I'm like, oh no. And then I just knew. I was like, it's not gonna work.
I like, for me being like me, I'm a Bengals fan, and sometimes it can affect me a lot. I couldn't imagine what it was like for you. Like, you devote so much time towards it. So, but if you can, look at this next season positively, who am I not to? And I believe that everything that went wrong with the Super Bowl can be fixed with experience, can be worked on with experience, such as the decisions, the drop balls, the not screening for some fucking reason against the worst screen team in the world. But, we just go look forward. It's going to be a beautiful season. And I do think I'm about to let you go soon, but I want to try a new segment with you. So I'm gonna just ask you about 10 questions. Answer them as fast as you can, man. You go be the first one to do this. So the next person just go try to have to be ZIM WHODEY, man. I know you competitive too. So let me
let's do it. Ain't nobody gonna answer faster than me. Let's get it.
Let's go. All right, so stopwatch starting now. All right, first question. Oops, I'm gonna start it over anyway. Fuck it, my bad. I fucked up. My bad.
Y'all listening, this is not against my time.
Nah. You good, bro. All right.
Mike time.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Least favorite Bengals player of all time.
Billy Price.
Billy Price. All right. Favorite Bengals player of all time.
AJ Green.
Position you dream of playing in the NFL.
Cornerback.
Kobe or LeBron?
LeBron.
Favorite hip hop album.
Whoa. God damn it. I don't know. Like Blueprint? I don't know. Like it had to be like a mixtape Wayne dedication or something like that.
Gotcha.
I can't give you it gotta be like mixtape.
That count. Favorite WWE wrestler?
Ultimate Warrior. That's WWF.
Ooh. Least favorite rapper you hate. Like turn this shit off when it comes on.
Lil Baby.
What? Best QB in the league.
Joe Burrow.
That's what's up. Best Spider-Man.
Miles.
Skyline or Gold Star?
Skyline.
Got you. Hey, I appreciate you so much, Zim.
My bad. I'm a Gunner. I'm a Gunner fan. I feel like Baby, it sounds the exact same. I do not like Baby. I love Gunna, bro. Like I don't like Baby at all. It all sound the same to me.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. After a while, I was just like, all right, man, let's get this shit over.
I don't like it. Now Gunna, he gonna be rapping forever, like on some Wiz Khalifa shit. He's so good at picking beats. He's so good at harmonizing. He's gonna be rapping forever. Watch.
Yeah, if he could get out of this gym,
if he can get out of jail. You see my man Joey? Man Joey yesterday. Yeah,
I checked out that playlist, man. Like Joe is so like that's just Joe. He got something for everybody just in this playlist, and like everybody can like Joe. How can you not like Joe Burrow? Unless you're a Steelers fan or Ravens fan.
You know, Joe, you know, I name, you know, my son Uzi, you know, I'm a big Uzi fan. And Joe is his favorite artist. I know he be talking about Kid Cudi a lot of shit, but Uzi is his favorite artist.
Word? Oh, I thought we had that in common because the songs that he had Kid Cudi play is like all in my playlist. So
right.
he
definitely picked he definitely picked the best ones.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I thought his playlist was legit. Juice WRLD to me is the greatest freestyle of all time. That's like I love Juice WRLD. Yeah. I thought like the Young Boy songs that he picked, they were like the best joints. I thought the Future songs that he picked was dope. I didn't go through the whole thing, but I was like looking at it. I like Trippie Redd, bro. Like I was fucking with Trippie Redd. Like
from Ohio.
Hard.
Yeah.
I was fucking with him heavy, so I thought the playlist was lit. I know like old motherfuckers was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" But that's what I listen to. I don't listen to like my son listen to straight trap shit, bro. Like I don't listen to like I haven't listened to the radio in like probably like 10 years, bro.
Right. It just adds to the legend of Joe. Like, who the fuck is this? He like the coolest dude in the world. You ever met him?
Right. Nah.
It'd probably be like Jordan walking in.
I know he knows me. You know, he knows me. I talk to his father. Like I talk to his father like every other day. We text often.
Yeah.
I know his girl know me because I don't know you seen the picture I took with them or whatever, but his girl knew me. It's on my Instagram page. When I saw her at the Chiefs game, she actually was going to go get a drink, and she was like, "Hey, I follow you on what you call it." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I was like, "I know who you are," and I don't think I follow her because I thought beautiful. I thought that was weird that So I know she probably was like, "Hey, look at this dude," or, So I know he know it. And then his father, like, as soon as his father met me, he was like, "Nah, I heard about you before," like, whatever. So I'm pretty sure he knows who I am. So.
All that says to me is, Zim, bro, you gonna be in that parade, bro. You gonna be on that float, man.
Oh, I'm with it. Hey, look.
Hey, man,
bro, I'm a crafty motherfucker, bro. Like I'll figure out a way to get on that fucking float. That's not even a conversation.
It ain't. We processing it if you ain't on that, man. That's for sure.
Hey. No, I'm gonna be on that joint turned up. Like I gotta represent. I got and take it a step further. I gotta be on a float with like the Migos, bro. Like it can't be like I'm just on a random float. It gotta be like with them.
Word. I see you.
That's who I was with at Mixing Party. I was with them.
Word. I seen you linked up. I know it was Elise. I think you was with Jamar after the Jags game.
Oh no, that was Tyler Boy Jags game. Yeah,
because it was like it was like a picture of you talking.
Oh yeah. Nah, but look, you ain't see like 2 weeks ago I was in the club with them.
Yeah, I seen you talk about it on the podcast. I forgot what's the name of y'all?
Tyler. Now it's Winston.
Yeah.
But Tyler Boy, I was with one of his best friends really fucked with me tough. So we already walked in. I got them in the party because the dude promote was my man. But we went straight to their table, and that's who I be with. Like if we go out or something at the game, I be with them. Word. It's not like a real big thing. It's like his mom and his dad, they love me to death. I talk to his dad all the time. So T already had been fucking with me all that time.
I'm fumbling, bro. My bad.
Right,
so Zim, bro, appreciate you so much, man. You got to go. So where can the new viewers find you at? My bad.
On Winstonati Pod, follow me on Twitter. Winstonati Pod is the name of the Twitter account. But we're gonna have a good interview with Cheeto Bay at Woozier. We're gonna air on Tuesday. Also, Maurice Jones-Drew from the NFL Network on Thursday. Also, ZIMWHODEY.com about to drop a whole lot of Revenge season 3 of Burrow Babies, my clothing line. And then follow me at ZIM WHODEY on Twitter, ZIM _ WHODEY on Instagram.
All right, whoever follows Zim and me on Twitter, man, I'll buy you a shirt because I'll buy 3 people a shirt because Zim was so graceful. Like he had to repeat this outro again. I appreciate you so much, brother. You have a good one.
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna cut that part and put it on Twitter now. So
I
be
got
ready.
you. All
They're
right,
gonna
bet.
be ready for you. We dropping in about a week or so.
All right, bet. Got you.
Right,
So
man,
y'all hit me up, man. I got y'all. See you, bro.
Right.
See you.